Well, hello, friends, and welcome. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everyone is having a beautiful Tuesday, February the 17th. This is the beginning of the fire horse year. It is the beginning of eclipse season. It is a new moon. There is a lot going on. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning. I am super excited to be here with everyone today. Thank you so much for being here. My camera is reversed. It drives me crazy. Seriously. I'm really happy to be here with you guys today. I missed you when I was on vacation. Sort of, kind of. I was happy to be on vacation. So today is Tuesday, February the 17th. It is 9:01 a.m. this morning. If you are watching this, please make sure that you are live with me and not behind on the live, especially if you want a reading, because I read them as they come in. Good morning, Maggie. I see you, friend. So I do have a tiny bit of a list already going today. I'm going to go off that list. Nicholas is first, then Kathy, and then Maggie. That is the list so far, but I want to remind everyone of how this works. These are general energetic readings. I'm going to tap into your energy. I'm going to tell you everything that I see, feel, and hear on your behalf. And then I'm going to pull cards to give you clarity on that. If you have a specific question that you want me to answer, as long as it's not about another person, I can try to do that for you too. Just can't be about another person, right? Crystal, I see you, friend. You're on the list. Readings are $25 each. They are payable through Venmo or PayPal only. Do not send me payment through YouTube. Unless you're just sending me a gift, which I'll be happy to take. I can't take payment through YouTube for the readings. There's a lot of reasons for that. I also want to remind everyone that the replay from the readings will be up on my YouTube channel as soon as the live is over, and you can go back and rewatch your reading as many times as you want. And I really encourage you to watch it again, because in the moment, it can be a lot of information. You miss stuff. When you go back and watch it later, there it is, and it's super exciting. So make sure you do that. Also, private sessions are available through my website. I am only offering 30-minute sessions right now because I'm trying to sell my house. And if I have a showing, I have to be able to get out of my house very quickly, right? Once I move, I will open up my books again for 1-hour sessions, but right now they're only 30-minute sessions, and I am booked into March right now, but don't get discouraged if you want a private session. Hello, Brian. I'm so glad that you're here. Darlene, hello and welcome. Leslie, good morning from Texas. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited. So I also just want to remind you, I have several wonderful workshops coming up this week. On Friday is the channel's chair. This is hosted over Zoom by me, and it's kind of like a support group for your awakening, right? We can talk about how you're feeling, what you're experiencing. You can talk to people with like minds. You can see how other people are dealing with things. And I also have my channel open to receive answers for you in that session. Every ticket comes with a link to watch the replay whenever you want here. All right. I also have several other sessions coming up. Make sure you go to my website, consciouslyerin.com, click on Tools for Transformation, and you should be able to get tickets to any of those that you want. So again, I just want to remind you, it's 9:04. If you're not watching this live, please make sure that you catch up to the live, especially if you've paid for a reading. All right. Grand Rising, Nightjar, M. Ford, Vicky, Darlene, hello, and happy day. All right, Nicholas, you are up first. So here's the way it works. When I call your name, it's time for your reading. So what I need you to do is answer me by saying, hi, it's me, and your name, because your display name and the name you paid with may not match. And I am not that kind of psychic. So you kind of have to tell me who you are. I want to make sure I have the right person. If I call your name several times and get zero answer from you, I'm going to put a pin in your name and I'm going to move on to the next person. When you respond, then I will do your reading. I see you, Nick. All right. So let me update the list real quick. Nick, I do see you. All right. So Nicholas is up first. Nick is up first. And then Kathy, Maggie, Crystal, Ashley, and Melissa. That is the list so far. And Jennifer, I got you too. You are on the list. You guys, this is a big day. A big day energetically. You guys realize that, right? Hey, Wade. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Nick, let's pin your message there. All right. So remember, Nick is up now, then Kathy, Maggie, Crystal, Ashley, Melissa, and Jennifer. Do me a favor when I call your name, say, hi, it's me, and your name so that I know what you need. If you have a specific question, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to do a general. Remember, the replay is available. Make sure you're live with us. It is 9:05. Nick, we're going to get into it. So, Nick, the first thing I see when I come into your energy is the color yellow. I love this. This is the color of the solar plexus, the seat of how you see yourself in the world. It's also the home of creative expression. Ramona, I see you. There's an idea forming in here, or it may be that the idea has already formed. Sorry. Letitia. I will update my list. I promise. You guys got to stay with me, all right? So whatever's going on in your solar plexus, it has a lot of energy behind it. The solar plexus is the seat of how you see yourself in the world. It's also the home to your creative expression. Feels like there's an idea in there. I don't want to say it's a new idea. I think it's been there, but I almost feel like it's been put on hold. Friend, this is your time. This is your time. This is the year of the fire horse. We're going to embrace this energy and go after these ideas. This idea feels like it has the potential for a pretty big ripple in your physical environment. So usually that has something to do with, throwing cards today. Look at that. I said, usually it has something to do with, and there's the card, your intuition, right? So usually this has something to do with a job or something like that, something that has ripples in your physical world. I don't necessarily feel like you're intended to work for someone else your whole life either. I'm just going to throw that in there. I think there's some ideas you have that are going to open the door for you. I can feel a little bit of nervousness, anxiousness, maybe a little bit of, I don't know how that's going to work kind of thing. But friend, it's not your job to figure out how anything's going to work. It's your job to dream it up and let the universe bring it to you. And that's what you're doing. You also have a lot of movement in your root. It's not necessarily as active as your solar plexus, but the movement in the root feels like it's related to release around limiting beliefs. And I know that sounds very generic, but when you can combine that with the solar plexus activity that I'm seeing, friend, this is the beginning of something pretty special. This idea that you have, it's a good idea. There's no reason for you to be holding back on it. I understand that you may not be able to jump from the beginning line to the ending line, but the small steady steps that you take in between is what's going to get you there. And again, this feels very much like it has something to do with moving yourself physically or moving a job or a position that you have. This is enough energy and impact behind it to have ripples in your physical environment, meaning you will actually be able to see, touch whatever this is that's changing. It feels a few months away before it comes all the way to the surface, but there are small steps that you're taking now that are leading you there. It also feels like that whatever this is way in the back of your head, as if you're not even paying a lot of attention to it, but it's just gaining momentum because you've let go of the resistance around part of it. The other resistance, the part in your root that's coming undone, it feels like a smaller piece of resistance. Hopefully all that made sense. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Listen, Nick. This is what they're saying. First of all, this is a year of victory for you. You are working through some healing that you've been doing down in that root, letting go of some things. And now the King of Pentacles has come in to say, friend, I got your back. We're going to do this. It's going to be so fun. King of Pentacles has got your back. This doesn't mean you're going to win the lottery, but it means you're going to have what you need when you need it to be successful in what you're going after. They're acknowledging that this hasn't necessarily been easy for you. It's been a lot of hardship trying to let go of some of these limiting beliefs that you have hanging out, but you're doing a good job of it. Just remember when your triggers come up, it's an opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute. Why am I giving my power away, and reassess that, right? This is telling me that's going to take some work as you step forward, but inspired action is what's going to open the door for you. Your intuition is 100% on task, telling me that you know this is a good idea. You're just following through. The better judgment card is letting me know that for a while you may have been listening to other people tell you that things aren't right. You should do it this way. And now you're like, no, I know this is a good idea and I'm going to do it. There's a lot of unveiled truths coming to the surface for you. Again, the idea of big change around an idea, physically moving your body and having ripples in your physical environment, a job, a relationship, something in there is changing in a good way for the better. That doesn't mean the change itself won't be uncomfortable. Change is almost always uncomfortable. However, look at this. You get the death card to end your reading, letting you know that your fear of change has got to go because you are walking into something brand new. The death card is about leaving behind the old version of you and welcoming in the newest version. This is connected to that solar plexus and very excited with energy. Listen, Nick, whatever this idea is, it's a go. It's a go. I feel like you've put it off for a little bit and now you're being asked to embrace it. So I would 100%, so 100% to see you going after that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Look at that. I'm so glad to have been able to read for you. Thank you so much, Nick, for your time and your patience. Remember, everybody, to make sure that you are live with us. It is 10 after 9 on Tuesday. Kathy, you are up next, my friend. We're going to update the list here in just a minute. Kathy is up next. Remember, I need your patience. The list builds and I can't control that. I'm going to take my time with everybody. Remember, the replay does become available as soon as the readings are over. When I call your name, it is your turn. If I call your name several times and you don't respond, I'm going to put a pin in you and we will come back to you when you are ready. So keep that in mind, all right? I would love to give you a reading. Readings are $25. Venmo and PayPal are available to you through the link in the description of this video or my website, consciouslyerin.com. Kathy is up next. So come on down, Kathy, and say hello. After Kathy is Maggie, then Crystal, Ashley, Melissa, Jennifer, Ramona, Melinda, Tisha, Christina, and Jeff. Thank you, Chrissy. Welcome in. Hello, friend. So Kathy, come on down. You are up next. Remember to stay here with us, okay? If you can stay here, it's helpful. Don't forget to give a like to the live. That's helpful as well. I go through the list as quickly as possible, but I take my time with everybody. Hi, Chrissy. I'm glad you're here, friend. Kathy. I see you, Chrissy. So here's the thing. I can't see your comments if I'm reading because I'm not paying attention, but I see you. I do see you. I'm catching up here. Hello from Philly. Hello from Fort Worth. I'm so excited you guys are here. Baja, hello. Connecticut, hello. All right. Kathy. Mary Ellen Monroe. Good morning, friend. Hello, Leslie, servant of God. I am in good spirits. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy, where are you, friend? Say hello. Say, hi, my name is Kathy, so that I can do your reading. I know you're ready for it. I know you are. You're ready. I can feel it. I can feel the vibrations as if you're here. Kathy, where are you? Kathy. See, this is what I try. I don't want to delay, but I'm trying to be respectful. Make sure that you are live with us. Make sure that you're not on the delay, okay? It is 9:13 a.m. I don't see Kathy. She's not responding. I'm going to go ahead and go with Maggie. When Kathy comes around, we will do her reading. I'm not doing it. I'm just trying to keep it going, right? Maggie, are you here and are you ready? Hello, Whitney. Yeah, Chrissy, I bet you are. There's a lot going on yesterday. Hi, Maggie. All right, friend. When Kathy comes back, we're going to have to make sure that we read for her. All right. Make sure that you guys remind me when she gets here. Kathy, I don't see you, so make sure that you're commenting. Also, Whitney, Vance, and Chrissy 444 are both mods of mine. So if you need help, if you need something, make sure you comment, tag them. They can help you. Okay. All right. Well, righteous Robin, maybe pay attention, right? Happy Lunar New Year. Absolutely. All right, Maggie, here we go. Where'd you go? I got a comment. There you go. All right, Maggie. Ooh, Maggie, you've got some fire in you, friend. Okay. Where is it coming from? When I look at your energy, your root is super active. What it looks like to me is a bit of a volcano. There's a lot of release happening down in there and it feels hot to me. So hot emotions can feel intense. They can be any of the emotions, but the heat behind it. I know it sounds weird to explain it that way, but that's how I perceive it. There's heat behind these emotions. It could be anger, sadness, grief, frustration. Something in there is volcanoing itself to the surface, and it feels like it's had a long line of packing stuff on top of it. So this could have been something that started a long time ago, and it's just hasn't gotten better. And now you're like, okay, I'm done with this, right? So a lot of times this is a job that you no longer resonate with, that you've been feeling taken advantage of or whatever, or it could be a relationship. It could be a professional relationship or a personal relationship. It's really hard for me to tell. What I can see is a volcano in the root, as if I'm done with this and I'm letting this shit go. Right. And that's what I want to see. It isn't necessarily comfortable when that happens, but it's making a ton of room in your energy for something else to come forward. This feels like the breaking and the release of a lot of resistance around something around comfort. Like sometimes people stay in situations that aren't great for them because it's what they know. And it's very scary to step outside of this and try something you don't know. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to do. And it feels very scary. And I feel like you've gotten to this point with whatever this is, where you're finally like, all right, I'm going to let go. I'm just done. I'm going to let go. All right. I also want to tell you that you have a lot of activity in your heart space. So whatever this is pulling on those heartstrings. Leads me to believe it has something to do with another person or persons, but I can't see who or what it is specifically. What I see is how it's affecting you. And that root is volcanoing out all kinds of stuff. Watch out, because you might be a little bit spicy in your responses in the next few days, especially as we walk into this new moon, this eclipse, and the fire horse. Holy cow. Like, that's a lot. Okay. Can we just acknowledge that's a lot? All right. All right. So here we go. This is what my guides have to say, in addition to everything else I've already said. Maggie, they are acknowledging that you are letting go of stuff in your root. The very first card for you is the heartbreak card. So that tells me that whatever is coming up from your root is the letting go of some heartbreak that's been hanging out in your system for way too long. My guides are telling me this is a work of rebellion for you, because you've gotten comfortable with whatever this is. And again, this is not a commentary on you or you're bad or whatever. This is what most of us do. We get comfortable in something, and even when it isn't comfortable anymore, we stay there because it's what we know, right? This is you starting to walk away from that. My guides are telling me your intuition's been screaming at you to do this for a long time, and something finally came forward and showed you now's the time to do this. My guides want you to understand this is where your liberation is found. This is when you walk into self-sufficiency. This morning in my card pool, self-sufficiency was something that came up, and what came up with that was relearning the art of self-sufficiency, because it is 100% an artwork. My guides also want you to understand that this is when you're going to be your most authentic self, is when you walk into that charismatic version, letting go of the stuff in the root. My guides also want you to understand that as this volcano goes off, things are going to start to happen very quickly. For me, it feels almost like there's a dissolution of something. Like you untied it, like you had the image I'm getting is like a string tied in a circle with a lot of stuff hanging off of it. You untie the string and open it, and everything falls off. And that's kind of what it feels like, as if you finally let go of the resistance, and boom, everything starts to work. This is you walking into the next phase of your awakening experience, the self-sufficiency stage. You are standing at the edge of something brand new, but it's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone, which goes all the way back to that root releasing. Last card for you is wanting to acknowledge that whatever this is has been an ineffective team for you. This is what you're feeling. This is why you feel like it's time to go. And I'm telling you that being mindful about it, yes, is important, but don't compromise anymore. Don't compromise anymore. Okay. You want to just continue to follow through with this. It doesn't mean you have to do it all at once, but small mindful steps in the direction you want to go. That's what you want to do. Maggie, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, my friend. I appreciate you. Sarah, thank you so much for joining the Conscious Knots. Yeah. Well, Maggie, I'm so happy to have been here with you, to be able to tell you those things. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Ooh. Whoops. I didn't know what I did there. All right. So, Kathy, we're calling for Kathy again. Kathy is here. She just can't respond to me for some reason. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, if she's here, I'm going to read for her. I don't know why she can't respond to me. That's odd. Very odd. All right, Kathy, I'm going to pin this one just so I can focus on you, okay? I apologize. I don't know why I can't see you. That's very strange. But we're going to do it. So after Kathy is Crystal. So Crystal, make sure you're here and you're ready. You guys, make sure you are live with us. It is 9:20, okay? Make sure you are live. Oh, if she's watching online and not the app, you can't chat. Ah, okay. That could explain it. Janine or Genie, I see you. All right. Here we go, Kathy. Friend, your throat is... All right. Listen, Kathy, there's some stuff stuck in your throat that you need to get out of there. I understand that saying things to people that you perceive might hurt their feelings can be really scary. But what's scarier to me is holding back on speaking up on your truth about something. Friend, when I look at you, the first thing I see is that throat chakra is very slowed. It's very slow. It's like a traffic jam. It's like molasses in the winter. It's not blocked, but it's just slow. Feels like there's some spicy words in there, some hurt in there, some I'm not being recognized, heard, or seen in there. And friend, this is your opportunity to sort of let that out. Alara and Genie, I see you. I will update the list in a few minutes. Sarah, I see you. You guys, please be patient with me through the list, okay? I feel like there's a piece of you that... Goodness, there's a piece of you that is struggling with expression of some kind, and it feels in a very specific space, as if expression of myself towards another person or towards an organization that feels intimidating. I don't necessarily feel like this is a get out of my life expression, but more of a, hey, I don't like it when you treat me this way or speak to me this way, and I need to address this. It feels like there's a clog in here related to a teaching in your root. The root is not as active as the throat. It's like the throat is trying to work its way through this without letting go of the resistance in the root, and this is where the trouble is happening. It feels as if you were brought up or taught at some point that, complaining is not good or something like that. I mean, my mom always told me, why complain? Listen, friend, if they messed up your steak, you deserve to get it cooked right. You know what I'm saying? It's not about complaining. It's about what you deserve to have happen for you. And I feel like you need to speak up in this area. I understand that it isn't easy. It doesn't feel like one specific person. Honestly, it feels like more than one person, but it's hard for me to see. I can tell you it will be very uncomfortable to have the conversation you need to have, but you will feel immensely better after you do it. And it's not that you need to sit down and berate them or say mean things to them. I want you to sit down and gather your thoughts and have a conscious conversation. And when they try to push you off course, you go, I'm not talking about that now. This is what I'm talking about. And every time they try to gaslight or redirect you, you're going to say, I'm not talking about that now. I'm talking about this. Keep them on task. Or whatever this is that you need to express this to, it also feels to me like, I hate to say this, but like they don't respect you in the way that you deserve to be respected. And this has caused them to treat you in a way that doesn't reflect that, or that doesn't reflect respect. I don't know. I wish I could say exactly what it is. It feels more like something outside of me, like a job or something like that. It's kind of out at arm's length. But it's definitely there, and you definitely need to have the conversation. So this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Kathy, they're acknowledging that this is going to be an act of rebellion for you, going against your teaching of don't speak up, just hide in the back, let everything happen. It's okay. This is you speaking up against that and stepping into your self-sufficiency. This will not only bring you a sense of mental clarity, but it will also help to bring you forward into a space of partnership. This partnership is different than a romantic partnership. This is something that offers you the support that you need when you need it, which can be romantic, but it feels like something outside of that. My guides are telling me that it's your youthful emotions. It's the teachings that you received when you were younger that are keeping you from speaking up. And they're really saying, you got to let that go. My guides are telling me that self-focus right now is where they want you to look so that your creative vision can rise to the surface. Doesn't mean it won't require work, because it absolutely will require work on your end. But by following through and doing the introspection, having the conscious conversation that you need to have, friend, you literally open the door and the world is at your feet. I want you to see that. Last card in your reading is the world. So Kathy, what that tells me is that once you open up about this and you let this out of your system, that it reduces some of the friction in your energy and it opens things up for something new to come forward. You literally have the path right at your feet, right? You literally have the path right at your feet. But you have to take the step of being brave enough to speak up or to go in that direction. Kathy, I'm so sorry that I can't see you. I don't know exactly why, but I do appreciate very much that you took the time to be here with me. And I do hope that that was helpful. Again, it will be on the replay. You guys make sure that you're live. It is 9:26 right now. So make sure that you are live with us. Kathy, thank you again. I'm going to update the list real quick. Crystal is up next. Then Ashley, Melissa, Jennifer, Ramona, Melinda, Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Genie, Genie, I think, Alara, Sarah, and Jamie. I only have 4 spots left for the day, but please be mindful that it takes me time to get through the list. Hi, Crystal. I see you. All right. After Crystal is Ashley. So Ashley, you're going to be next. Make sure that you're live with us at 9:26. Hello, Celeste. Good morning. Patricia, good morning. It is a busy day. I love it. It's a great day. All right, Crystal. All right. The very first words I hear as I come into your energy is that thing you've been waiting for is about to come through. This feels like a very physical thing that I've been focused on bringing forward for a while. It feels large in nature. They're showing me a building. So this could be a job, a house, something to that effect. This is not a surprise. Caitlyn, I gotcha. Thank you, Letitia. It is not a surprise. This is something you've been working towards, but for whatever reason, it hasn't quite worked out, almost like it hasn't been the right time, right? Friend, this feels really good. Ramona, thank you. This feels really good, Crystal. This feels like the coming together of something I've been waiting to happen. The realization of a goal that I've had. It feels big enough to have a physical ripple. So that means that it's something you can touch and feel in your real life existence. I also feel the sensation of moving my body somewhere. So again, this has something to do with either a house, a vacation, a job, something, a retreat, maybe something that you've been wanting to happen and kind of lightly working your way towards over time, but it seems like it's been put off for a while. There's this confluence of events that feels like things just fall into place, like dominoes, boom, 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 boom. And actually, they're showing me it might even give you a little bit of anxiety as it starts to happen, because it's like that you think you want it until you get it, and you're like, oh my God, do I really want it? Yes, you do. Just because it feels a little nervousness, a little nerve-wracking, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's unknown. When you have this opportunity presented to you, it's going to be very clear that this is an opportunity to take you where you want to go. If it's a job, what that means is someone reaching out to say, hey, you want to talk about that? If it's a house, it's things coming together. If it's a retreat or a vacation, it's literally, to me, it seems like there's a phone call or a conversation where things click into place and boom, 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 the dominoes fall and you find yourself exactly where you want to be. It feels like this is happening really soon. I'm actually burning up. Hold on. My energy is getting hot. This actually feels like it's going to be relatively soon, and it feels like it comes quickly. So just keep that in mind. So Crystal, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I have already said. right? My guides want you to understand that the support that you need to make this happen is finding its way to you. The resistance has been dropped. The wheel of fortune has spun around in your direction, and the winds of change are pushing at your back saying, here we come. My guides are telling me that this has taken a lot of work, not just work upcoming, but work that you've already done. And they're telling me that this is about to be rewarded by all those dominoes falling into place. What they're asking you to do now is make the commitment to keep moving in that direction, even though your anxiety is going to rise to the surface and make you think, oh no, is this a good thing? It is a very good thing. You just have to let your trigger settle. Right? This is change that's causing the trigger to go off. It's not anything bad. My guides also want you to know, and they're confirming that the resolution to this problem is finding its way to you rather quickly. The trick is going to be not to let yourself get overwhelmed by it. I feel like I'm repeating, but I'm just going with what they're telling me. They tell me now is a good time for you to focus and write down your goals, plant the seeds. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Now's the time to do that. Selfishness is not a dirty word. It's something you have to learn to be okay with. And so you got to get out of your head about it. You got to stop talking yourself out of it because so-and-so doesn't like it or so-and-so said it would be bad. Screw so-and-so. This is your stuff. This is what you want to do. And they're asking you to embrace this. Release the need to have everybody else's approval and embrace that creative vision because that's what's taking you forward. Inspired action is how we manifest. This is right where you are. You are on the edge, my friend, of bringing in a very real, very physical manifestation that you have been waiting for to come forward. This feels as if things just snapping into place and surprising you a little bit. Surprised, but not surprised. Like, oh my gosh, I always wanted to move. I just didn't know it was going to happen now. That kind of thing. So keep that in mind. I feel very good about this. It feels like it has a lot of ownership to it. So I don't know if this is a job or a retreat or working for yourself, something. Similar in that has a lot of ownership. Ownership is that feeling of I did this. No one made me do it or no one did this for me. I did this, right? Whoo, Crystal. Girl, you making my mustache sweat. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Just a reminder, you guys, the Channels Chair is this Friday. It's a support group for your awakening experience. It's a place to come talk about the woo without the judgment. Tickets are available. If you go to my website, it's under the tab Tools for Transformation. You can find those tickets. Woo. Whitney, did you get my email? Just making sure. Sometimes it goes to spam. All right. Ashley. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you. Ashley is up next. So let's update the list. Ashley is next. Then Melissa, Jennifer, Ramona, Melinda, Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, and Caitlyn. I only have 3 spots left. Hi, Ashley. Ooh, you got a twin flame going on. Girl. Oh, I saw that fire like immediately come into the space. All right. So let's talk about this for a second. Ashley, as I come into your energy, the very first thing I saw was a twin flame. What this is the way it was explained to me by my guides is a twin flame is a splinter of the same oversoul that comes forward in a contentious manner to usually create explosive growth in your current journey. The reason this usually happens is because you're tying up a lot of karmic ends. You're not starting karma, you're ending karma. And so this twin flame comes in, and by butting heads, it brings all of the resistance, all of the beliefs to the surface so that you can examine these and let them go. Twin flame relationships do not have to be romantic. They are often friendships. Family members also can be this. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that this is a significant person in your life. I have a twin flame who I worked for, but that twin flame through every single challenge encouraged me to grow into a better version of myself. And it doesn't mean I want to be friends with that person, but holy hell, they certainly helped me. You have a twin flame relationship that is incredibly active in your space. Again, twin flame relationships are very contentious or tend to be very contentious because it is literally about exponential growth. You are ending a ton of karmic cycles in this life experience. That means you've learned the balance between things, remembering that karma is not about you were bad, you need to be punished. Karma is about let's find the balance in this. The easiest explanation for that is if you unalive me in this life, that shows a complete disregard for the value of my life. If I unalive you in the next life, life, we have the same karma. We haven't fixed anything. So then you would have to come into the next life with me in a role in which you would unconditionally care for me, and that causes the balance in the karma. I don't know what karma you're working on, but girl, you done with it, right? So you came into this life with an exponential twin growth flame potential that has come active into your space. I understand that it's difficult to deal with this person, that they're constantly irritating you, but that person has also caused you to re-examine a lot of things in your life and make better choices for yourself. So let's look at it that way. Again, this is a very much like a wrapping up a ton of karmic lessons for you. And that's really exciting, especially in this life experience, because friend, I don't know what that means you're moving on to, but maybe it's not the earth school, right? Ashley, this is what my guides have to say. In addition to everything else I have already said, this is your year of victory. That twin flame that's come forward has caused you to feel vulnerable enough to start making changes in your life. You are going to a horizon you've never been to before. There's a lot of water in this, which allows me to understand that there's a lot of emotion behind this journey, and you're going somewhere you've never been before. So that can be a little scary. However, they want you to understand that you have all the tools you need to help support you as you walk right into this brand new beginning that you've created for yourself. Now is the time to buckle down and make the commitment to not back off of this because it gets difficult. Use every interaction as an opportunity for you to reevaluate. What am I doing? Where am I holding myself back? How can I move forward from this, right? My guides tell me that it's a good time for you to start focusing on you and what you want, because you are literally stepping right into the next phase of your awakening experience, where you will find a greater sense of balance once you release the need to constantly prove yourself to whomever this is. My guides also say there's a little bit of inner conflict that comes with this, because maybe this person is someone significant. I don't know. But I just need you to understand that this relationship is purposeful. It's helping you to grow in an exponential manner. That doesn't make it any easier, and I understand that. However, the growth that you've made because of this is enormous, and that's something to be celebrated, because that's where you come into your most authentic version of yourself. Whoo, Ashley. Thank you so much, Ashley. Just as a note, there's a difference between twin flames and soulmates, and you can have more than one of both of those. Twin flames is the explosion that helps you grow. The soulmate is the soft place that catches you when you fall. That's the difference between the two. Looking for your soulmate or your twin flame often puts it off, because you're coming from a place of lack. I don't have and I want. Right? So twin flames and soulmates typically come into your life when you find a better stability for yourself, and you're no longer looking for someone else to fill the hole that you have inside of your heart. You fill the hole, and then you facilitate happiness together. That's how that works. So just want to put that out there. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you very, very much, Ashley. Melissa, you are up next. Is Melissa? She's another one I think I can't see. Melissa is up next. And then after Melissa, let's update the list real quick. After Melissa is Jennifer, then Ramona, Melinda, Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Janine or Genie, and I don't know. You gotta help me with that. Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, and Stephanie. I do only have 2 spots left. Yeah, she's the one that I can't see, and I can't figure out how to fix that. I can't see that. Yeah, it's a long list, but hang in there. Hang in there. All right, Melissa, I know you're here. I know you're watching, so we're just going to get started. Let me pull you up so I can look at your... Hold, please. Hold, please. Just as a reminder, Jennifer's next. So, Jennifer, make sure you're here and you're ready. There you are. Okay, I got you. All right, Melissa. Trying to get clear here. So when I look at your energy, the first thing I see is someone sitting at a desk, and it looks like you're writing something. Almost feels like a letter. I see someone sitting at a desk and they're writing something. There's a lot of emotion in whatever it is that they're writing. I can't tell if this is a letter, a memoir, a blog, a book, but there's something that's being written that has a lot of emotion behind it. I see tears like leaking out, but a sense of opening in the heart and releasing something. Friend, I don't know if you have a story you need to tell or something you need to say to someone. Even if you're writing a letter and you're never going to send it, sometimes that's the best way to get something off your chest or out of your heart, right? Whatever this is not easy to write down. It feels difficult to go through, but cathartic at the end, as if there's a trauma or something that you need to get out of your system so that you can make room for something better. And while you may not be able to fully, it feels like it involves someone else. Like you might not be. So I'm going to just make something up. This is not what I'm saying. Hold on. Dropping my cards like a crazy person. I'm not saying it's this specifically, but if you had goodness gracious, if you had a difficult relationship with your father, right? The feeling of I can't really talk to him about it might be there, but writing the letter and getting the expression out onto paper is just as cathartic. And I would encourage you to do that. Even if you burn the letter when you're done, expressing, acknowledging, and letting those feelings out feels really important. Your heart feels very tender, very sore to the touch, like a bruise, as if I'm finally noticing this and I'm learning to let it go. I wish I could tell you who it was. I don't know, but I will tell you that getting it out of your system is going to be incredibly helpful and give you a lot of room for growth. All right, Melissa, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. The Unveiled Truth card is the first card that comes out. So it could be related to something you've recently learned that you need to get the expression out of your system. But once you do this, it will help you to feel more like yourself, as if this has been holding you back for some time. And now you have the information or the wisdom that you need to address this. My guides are asking you to have the discipline to work your way through this because it has had a lot of consequences in your life, as if it's caused a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of something, and they need you to acknowledge and let it out, right? My guides tell me that this is how you heal wounds, is by expressing and releasing, right? I understand that it's difficult and it's caused a lot of difficulty in your life, but believing in your power of yourself and the ability to heal is important here. So the more you express this on the paper, the more room you make for healing. And while this might require a bit of introspection on your heart, on your part, it will help you to see the truth of the situation a little bit more clearly and step outside of that comfort zone in which you find yourself. Stepping outside of the comfort zone, stepping outside of the comfort zone feels really important. Okay. You don't have to give the letter to the person, but whatever it is that you're not saying, you got to get it out of your system. It's like poison and it rots in your system and it will cause all kind of dis-ease in your space. Boy, I'm starting to stutter. It'll cause all kinds of dis-ease in your system. T303, anyone can get a reading. The list is kind of long right now, and I only have one spot left. Just FYI, I only have one spot left for today. I will be back on Thursday if you want a reading and can't be here today. Melissa, thank you, friend. I love that I get to read for you so often. I appreciate you so much. I apologize that I can't see you on here. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what even happened. So I'm so sorry about that. All right. Whitney, did you ever answer me about the email? Did you get my email? I just need to make sure you got it. All right. Jennifer, you're next. Let's update the list. Jennifer is next. Then Ramona, Melinda, Letitia, Christina. I feel like this is a song. Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, and Laura. That is the list so far. Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Jennifer. Fire horse energy. I'm excited for you. Jennifer, what's your sign? Do you mind me asking? I don't know it, but I'm curious. What's your sign, Jennifer? I did fill up quick today. It's a good day. Like a cheerleader song. Yes, exactly. Pisces. All right. All right, Jennifer, here we go. All right. So, Jennifer, Taran, you got that last spot. My list is full for today, you guys. Taran, you got that last spot. All right. Remember, my guides speak to me in metaphors and movie scenes. What I'm explaining is not necessarily a physical thing, but is a representation of information. When I look at your energy, the very first thing I see is a big open field. I'm standing at the front of the field as if there's a gate there. I feel as though I've been outside this field for a long time and the gate has been closed. And now all of a sudden the gate is open. Walking into the field, there's a lot of fertile ground. Okay. Fertile ground is where you plant your ideas for things to grow. But I feel like you're just now walking into that space as if something's been keeping you out of it for a while. The fence looks man-made, so that tells me it's a feeling, a belief, or a restriction you had put on yourself. But for whatever reason, this feels like it's coming down and you're able to walk into that space. The significance of the fertile field is telling me that time is ripe for you to start taking action on some of the things that you want to see happen in your life. I understand that, it can feel hard to do that, but friend, the best way to manifest is through inspired action. This is where your throat comes into play and brings things into the physical world. As you walk into this field, it feels like a big open field of possibility. All you have to do is plant the seeds of what you want. I can't say specifically what it was that fence was built out of. Sounds to me like it was built out of a disbelief or someone else telling you can't do something. Kind of like the idea of being told when you're young that you're not smart enough to be a doctor. So you grow up thinking that you're not smart enough to be a doctor. And then one day you're like, wait a minute, maybe I am smart enough to be a doctor. You apply to medical school and get accepted. And holy hell, the door's open. It's something like that. Feels like you've been told that you can't do this for whatever reason by someone outside of you. It feels like I even stopped working towards it. And it feels, it honestly feels professional in nature, as if I have a job I want to do or something I want to do, or I want to work for myself or something, but I've been told that I can't do that. It's impossible or something. And that was the fence that was built. That fence has come down. And while I can't see why the fence has come down, I don't think it matters. The most important thing is that it's down and you can walk right into this space right now. So my guides are telling me at this time, they're asking you to make a good decision, informed decision, meaning as you walk into this field, you want to plant the seeds of what you want to happen, not what someone else told you was possible. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks you're capable of. You know that you can do more than that, what you're being told. My guides also want you to understand that your clarity that comes as you walk into this field will help you to take the next steps. Again, this feels physical in nature. It feels like something like a job or something that you've been told or led to believe that you could not do for a long time. And maybe it's working for yourself. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but something like that. My guides want you to understand that it's time for you to be a little bit more selfish. You've done a lot of helping other people, but now it's time to refill your cup by planting these seeds. Just be careful that you don't overwhelm yourself with trying to go after something. You're just allowing it to flow and grow in your space. You plant the seed, you water it, and it grows. My guides tell me that introspection may be a good thing for you to sort of sort out what you actually want now that you have the opportunity to do this. It's kind of like someone saying to you, okay, you want to own your own business? Here's the keys to an empty storefront. What are you going to do with it? That's what it feels like you've been told. All right. This is leading you to a sense of being your truest self, and it's full of potential, friend. You're standing right on the edge. Like I said, see the picture? The field. You're there, friend. Whatever this is, it's like it feels very much like something I've been led to believe I can't do for whatever reason. And that's just not the case at all. I feel like whatever the realization is that you have that lets you remember that you can do this is helpful. And it's time for you to take some inspired action. Jennifer, thank you. The job is my destiny purpose reading is on point. Great. I love it. Jennifer, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Time check. It is 9:48. So make sure that you are watching with us live, especially if you have purchased a reading. My list is full for today. I will be back on Thursday for more readings. You can always schedule a private reading through my website. Also, tickets are available for the Channels Chair this Friday, which is a Zoom session with me and many others where we can basically have a support group for each other, right? All right. Ramona is up next. So after Ramona is Melinda, Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. Hi, Ramona. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. Ramona, fire again. There's so much fire in these readings today. This fire horse is really on point. Ramona, the first thing I saw when I looked at your energy was fire, and they're giving me the words fire in the belly. There's a passion that has ignited in you. Doesn't feel like yesterday, but relatively recent, a discovery of some kind. Ooh, I like this, right? I like the way this feels. I do feel like it's kind of something that you're trying to squeeze in the cracks of your daily life right now. But what I want you to understand, this is something that's going to shift very quickly. It almost feels like, and I don't know specifically this is what it is, but it feels kind of like when I decided to start working for myself. Once I made the decision and start putting things in place for that, it really started to happen very, very quickly. This feels similar to that for you, as if there's a fire in the belly, a passion has ignited, and this has aligned you with a different frequency. I also feel like there's going to be a couple of people around you who don't understand, don't like, don't want you to do what you're doing, but they're coming from their own space of discomfort. They're coming from their own space of disbelief, and it legitimately has nothing to do with you. So I'm going to ask you to not allow them to bring you down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to suggest you don't tell anybody about this project until it's so far in the ready that it doesn't matter what the Yahoo says, because it's already in motion, right? It feels really good. I got to be honest. It feels really good. Ramona, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else. You, my friend, have gotten yourself into such a state of balance that you have ignited this passion in the belly. My guides tell me this has a youthful feel to it. So that means it's something that gives you that childlike excitement, something that makes you open-eyed and excited for the world. This is what's coming forward. My guides also want you to understand that it's taken a bit of commitment from you, and they're asking you to keep with this commitment, because there's going to be a lot of people around you who don't necessarily like that you're doing this because it makes them uncomfortable. There's a lot of things that feel codependent around you, as if a lot of people have become comfortable with you doing things for them that they could quite clearly do for themselves. And by putting more time towards yourself, they don't like that they have to do these things for themselves. Sorry, not sorry. Don't let it stop you. You have all the support you need to continue moving forward. And this is your time of liberation. This is when you walk out of the chains of self-defeat and into the space of liberation, healing a ton of wounds along the way and allowing yourself to see the clarity of the situation. My guides also want you to know that you have better judgment about this, or to continue to have better judgment about this. Don't let anyone else's opinion slow you down or stop you from embracing what you see as fit for you, because friend, it's right there in your energy. My guides tell me that there's going to be a lot of people in your space, maybe not a lot, but a few people in your space that don't like this. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to argue with them. You don't even have to talk to them about it. If it's going to invite criticism into your dream, don't allow it to happen. When we have a dream and it's starting to come forward and we tell people about it, it usually makes other people uncomfortable, unless they're on some sort of journey themselves. But if they're stuck in complacency, it's going to make them uncomfortable, and they're going to give you every reason not to do it. And that's an easy way to get into your head. And it's like planting weeds in your own flower bed. You don't want to do that. Hold it close to your heart until it's ready to pop, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. And then you've got it. You, my friend, are literally walking into a brighter future. Because that's awesome. Yeah, girl, you don't have to tell anybody about your project before you let it out there. I didn't tell anyone I was going to start working for myself until literally right before I did it. A year of planning and putting things in place and doing stuff. I didn't tell anybody except my husband until right before I left my job, because I didn't want their opinions. I don't want to know all the reasons why you think I'm not going to be successful, because I don't care what you think. And I'm really pushing you to that. Oh, well, thank you, Nick. I will definitely take a look at that. Thank you. Ramona, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Melinda is up next. After Melinda is Letitia, Christina, Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. Ooh, interesting. Interesting, Nick. Very interesting. Yeah, keep their energy out of it. All right, Melinda. Hello, friend. So excited to read for you. I see you. After Melinda is Letitia. So make sure you're here. I want to make sure you're live. It's 9:54 where I am. So make sure that you are live and not in the delay as we are doing these readings. Just a reminder that you can go back and watch this on the replay later. I encourage you to do that. All right, Melinda. All right. So a lot of these readings are starting to sound similar. I think that's because there's so many of us in the same position. So I just want to acknowledge that I am seeing that. When I look at you, Melinda, the very first thing I see is someone walking barefoot in a desert. Okay. When I look behind this person, I can see it's been a long road and there's all kinds of pitfalls and rocks and stuff. And when I look at the feet of the person, they're sore and bruised and tired. And it feels like I've been walking this path for a long time. I look around and I feel like there's a desert everywhere. There's no greenery. There's no nothing. And there's a sensation of why isn't anything happening? Friend, it's not that things aren't happening. It's just that in order for things to manifest into your physical world, you have to align with it in your metaphysical frequency first. And I feel as though there are some things, and don't take offense to this, that you're coming at from a state of lack. I want to remind you that law of attraction always says yes. So if you tell yourself, I'm never going to do this, law of attraction says, yes, you're right. If you say, I am going to do this, law of attraction says, yes, you're right. Law of attraction is a giant resonance chamber. So when you're coming from lack, you have to be mindful of how you speak to yourself about things. I can never afford that. I could never go that. I could never wear that. I'll never be that size. I'll never have that money. This is all lack. Law of attraction is quite literally just going, okay, whatever you say. Right? So friend, I think the big thing here is the wanting you to stop speaking from a place of lack and call back your power. Your words have impact on your life. Your thoughts have impact on your life. And this is not at all ignore the bad and only acknowledge the good. That's not it. But don't allow the bad to control your day. Don't give that power to anything outside of you. If you have a bad day, and you embody that and you come from the feeling of I'll never have a better day, then you've allowed whatever that circumstance is to change your actual experience. And we're not doing that anymore. Friend, be careful of how you speak to yourself. I feel like you've had a lot of people telling you for a long time that you can't or shouldn't or won't or can't do things. F them. That's all I have to say about that. You've got to get back into your own head and kick out or evict all the voices in your head that are telling you can't do whatever this idea is you have, because you most certainly can. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Melinda, as soon as you start kicking those people out of your head, you get to walk into a brand new beginning, but it's going to take a hell of a disruption in your tower. So the tower is the belief system that you have built around you. The disruption is the disillusion of that, the feeling of not coming from a space of lack and not allowing people to dictate how your day is going to go based on their experience. That's all of this coming up to the surface for you. As the tower falls down, it can be incredibly uncomfortable, but once the tower falls, you have all this space in which to grow. Yes, it is going to take a little bit of work on your end, but the more you allow yourself to see the truth of the situation, especially behind the people who are saying these things to you, the better it will feel and the easier it will work for you. My guys want you to understand you've been through a lot. They're showing me a big, long road, telling me you've been through a lot. But friend, you have so much resilience in your energy. You just have a little bit ways to go. And as soon as you stop allowing people to convince you can't do something, or you stop convincing yourself that you can't do it, it's like the mirage of being in the desert is lifted and suddenly there's an oasis of grass and green and water and all this stuff just waiting for you. The best thing you can do right now is go after those inspirations, those things that inspire you the most, no matter how small. If it makes you, or if it helps you feel really good to go to the crystal store, go to the crystal store. You don't have to tell anybody you're going. You don't have to invite anybody. Just do something small to help you feel better. This is the small steps. My guides are asking you to reassess the way you speak to yourself, because this is a habit that you have formed that's holding you back, and it keeps you way too in your head about things. As you let go of this, it brings in the feeling of victory. This card has ownership. I did it. I did it. No one did it for me. I did it, bitches, right? But you have to be careful not to overwhelm yourself, because all that's going to do is bring up a feeling of frustration. So again, this feeling, Melinda, is you've got to get these people out of your head and stop allowing them to convince you that you cannot do something that you absolutely can. There's nothing about you in your energy that tells me you are limited in any way other than in the mind. And that feels like it's been handed to you for a long time from other people, and now it's time to let that go. Hey, Tiffany, thanks. Did I give you a reading today? Melinda, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Conscious Chrysalis is the business that I share with my friend Heather. This is where all my private sessions are scheduled currently. That business will be closing once I move to Florida, and it will only be the Consciously Erin platform. Right now, I just have two because I'm in one state. I'm in Illinois, and I can't use my Florida LLC until I'm in Florida. So I'm in between. So hopefully that makes sense. Melinda, thank you, friend. I appreciate you very much. Letitia, where are you, girl? Oh, Tiffany, that's wonderful. Thank you. Hi, Tisha. After Tisha is Christina, Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. Tisha, oh my goodness. By the way, you guys, check this out. Sorry, Tisha. I have a new favorite artist. Her name on TikTok is Rory, Rory, and she has made a series of artwork about life and death, being in love, and I love it. They are my favorite. They're not expensive. They're like $20 a print, and my goal is to have the whole series on the walls in my new office because I love the idea of life and death cohabitating. This is my first print. Look at this. This is called Life Dances Under the Veil of Death. How beautiful is that, right? How beautiful is that? Anyway, her name is Rory, Rory. She's on TikTok. I encourage you to go look her up. I'm sorry, Tisha. I had to say that. Her prints are not expensive, and my goal is to have the whole set once I move. All right, Tisha. Where'd you go? I pinned you. There you are. Tisha, so when I look at your energy, Tisha, I am overwhelmed with heat. That like I'm literally dying. That to me is a sure sign of heavy, hella momentum in your space. When I look at you, I am looking at a fast moving river, and you're not lost in the river. You're not drowning in the river. You are navigating that bitch like a bomb, right? To me, when I look at you, you are in the momentum of your life and things are starting to move rather quickly. That doesn't mean there won't be rocks in the river. That doesn't mean there won't be snags, but you are in control. It feels like there was a decision made recently about yourself or your practices or something. I don't know what it is, but it might have been like, okay, I'm going to really buckle down and get serious about my meditation. I'm going to learn this new craft. I'm going to utilize this new tool. There was a decision made that didn't feel large at the time, but has had a huge impact on your actual energy. It feels like a focusing in on something, like a laser focus, and like a locking into the GPS. They're giving me all these images of like knowing where I'm going and being sure of the path I'm on and being in the river on a raft, and it's stable and I'm the one controlling it and I'm flowing as quickly as possible. I feel as though your physical environment is about to change rather quickly. Again, physical manifestation coming forward as a result of focus on your behalf. Start small, little things popping into place that lead to bigger things, like a ripple effect. So as each one of these little things happens, and some of these feel like things you forgot you wanted, right? And it may be simple, but it may be, oh, one day you were in the crystal store and you saw this great geode and you're like, I'd really love to have one. And you forgot all about it. And then now today, here it is on your desk. And you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot I even wanted that. Things like that. It feels like are starting to happen in the moment up. There's a doorway that's small change in your life, but with big ripple effects. I also want to tell you, one around you that's starting to go through their awakening experience. This feels like a woman, a female, and it feels like she's watching you, not watching you, but watching you because she feels inspired by you, guided by you, something. And I don't feel like she's told you this. Maybe she has, but it's just this feeling of you're inspiring someone to continue to take steps in their life. And by doing this, your momentum has also increased. Your momentum is going to continue to pick up. Even though there may be some snags in the road, these are not roadblocks. These are redirections. Okay. There are a couple things that need to align themselves a little bit. There's a few things that are a little out of alignment, but not a lot. And it feels to me like you will be well aware of them when they reach you. All you have to do is set yourself back into alignment and you are back into that. Okay. This is what my guide has to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Tisha, you literally are standing at the edge of potential. I told you, girl, you are in momentum. Things are moving quickly for you as the result of getting yourself back into balance and re-practicing the art of self-sufficiency. You, my friend, are standing at the beginning of something. This is the Fool telling me that as this momentum picks up, it starts to bring more and more forward for you. This is a great place to be. This does not mean that there will not be moments where things feel like they're not working. The trick is to not get lost in the reaction. If something doesn't work out, like if you get, this happened to me, I got an unexpected bill this morning for a lot of fucking money, right? And instead of allowing it to drag me down into, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I just said, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this right now. And I put it to the side, right? Lo and behold, an hour or so later, I got an email from the same company going, you know what? That was our mistake. We didn't mean to send you that. Never mind. You have to stop focusing on the problem and allow the solution to come forward. They don't have the same vibration. This is something that you've done to wrap up a lot of your karmic cycles. And it has brought down a lot of towers around you. For me, this tower is telling me it's already done. The disillusionment of the tower has already fallen. And now you've moved into the state of victory. This is ownership. I did this. No one did this for me. I did this, right? Dang, Tisha, I want to be on your boat. You guys, you know what's so interesting is once I am done with the reading, I don't really remember it after a few minutes, but I'll have the feeling of, oh my God, that was amazing. I wish I knew what I said. Happens all the time. Tisha, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, my friend. I am excited. I am so excited for you. I want to be on your boat. Like, I want to be on your boat because your boat's going really fast and I really, really like it. All right. Well, thank you, Mary Ellen. You guys, I'm going to make I'm thinking about making a video about it, but I had a moment when I was on vacation in the Dominican where, I don't want to tell the whole story right now, but I was kind of forced into a situation and I had a recovered memory come to the surface of an assault. And it's not that I didn't know about this assault, but it had been so buried in my mind that I hadn't thought about it in a long time. And this situation happened and the remembrance of that assault came forward like a massive trigger and a huge release. I feel like that's happening for a lot of people. And I just want you to know that we're getting rid of old traumas. We're getting rid of the things that have been holding us back. So sometimes small things may trigger big reactions. And I felt like it's important to tell you guys that. Hopefully I remember to do a video about it. All right. Tisha, thank you so much. Yeah. You know what? That's why I love doing readings on here because you can go back and watch the replay later. Watching the replay is incredibly helpful. It's so much happening in the moment that watching it again can really be helpful. All right. Christina, you are up next. Then Jeff, Genie, Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. I love the name Taran. Christina, hello. I'm excited too. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see you. You know what? It's Mary Ellen. I'm glad that that I brought it to the surface to let it go, because I didn't realize. Hopefully, I don't start crying. I didn't realize how much that fear had been influencing my daily choices until I let it go. All right, here we go, Christina. I'm waiting for it to get clear. It's a lot of weird images, not making any sense. I got a rose, I got clouds, I got a smell of salt air, then I got a blank screen, and then I got a rose again. I don't have any context for those, so I'm waiting for it to come in. All right, so here it comes. I'm looking at your energy. Christina, the first thing I hear is waves, ocean waves, like the ocean. I feel sand under my feet and I smell salt water. So this is a very tactile experience, leading me to believe that it's something physically happening. There's a sense of being by the ocean and recharging. There's a sense of like, I don't know, mystical mystery, something, as if I'm fine. It almost feels like I've never been to a Joe Dispenza retreat, but the way people discuss how they feel at that retreat is the feeling I have sitting in your energy. I'm not 100% sure what the situation is, but where I see myself is sitting by the ocean. Of course, you are reflected as me, sitting by the ocean. I feel like my feet are in the water. There's a sunset or something, and there's a reevaluation or a rediscovery or a re-acknowledgement of something. There's a lot of emotion coming to the surface, as if release is associated with this. Water almost always represents emotion, although this feels like physical, like an actual ocean. I feel as if there's a weight lifted off my chest. Maybe that's why I told that story when I did, because I was connecting to your energy. This feels very similar. I feel like there's a refreshing in your energy, an acknowledgement of something, and a release of the stuff that'd been pressed down. Feels old, feels like it's way down in the basement of your root, and it makes its way to the top. It's hot, it's salty, and it hurts as it comes out, but it makes room in the root. This feels later in summer. This feels very hot to me. So later in summer, it feels by the ocean, it feels feet in the water, and the release of something, like letting something out. Like, it feels like whatever this was happened a long time ago, probably when you were pretty young, and it feels like it's been held in or held back for a while, as if you didn't feel like you had permission to not feel it. Sometimes I see this around people who experience a large loss when they're young and they feel bad for feeling bad, right? How can I feel bad when my dad died? He's the one who died. Why do I feel bad? Or something like that. There's something in there that needs to come to the surface. It's been suppressed for a long time. It's starting to color the environment that you're in and the choices that you're making, even though you may not cognitively be aware of it. You don't need to go search for this. It will find you. It feels to me like being around the ocean brings this up. And I don't know if it's the people that you're with that bring it up, if it's the being by the ocean that brings it up, but that situation brings it to the surface, and it's a hot release, like all of that energy coming out. And it has that feeling to it, like that heavy, angry cry that comes with grief or frustration. And it feels like something that's been pressed down for a long time. And as it gets released, it opens up a space, and I feel like I can take a breath. Friend, I don't know what you're holding back on expressing, but you got to let it out of your system. And to me, this feels like later in the summer, a physical place that you might be going where this brings this up. You're going to forget all about me saying this, and that's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh my God, she was right. This is what my guides have to say, in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides want you to have discipline as you work your way through this. It feels like it has a lot of emotions, and there's been a lot of reluctance to deal with it. However, as you start to see the manipulation of the situation, meaning maybe you believe you're not allowed to express yourself about this, something that's not right. As you start to recognize this, you start to allow that to come out of your system. This brings back a feeling of belief in myself and things that might be better, and helps you to settle into a state of patience rather than frustration. My guides want you to understand that this brings with it a sense of victory and ownership. I did this. No one did it for me. I did it myself. And it gets you moving on your spiritual path. Not that you're not already on your path, but things might be feeling like they're going a little slow right now. This is like a big crumb in your shoe that needs to be released. As you start walking on this path, all those emotions from when you were younger are going to start to come to the surface. And that's when the change happens. This is the death card, friend, telling me that the old version of you is dying away so that a new version can come forward. But in order for it to come all the way forward, you're going to have to let go of whatever this thing is that's pretty deep down in there that you feel like you haven't been able to express for whatever reason. Again, it almost feels like a family trip or something that causes a trigger and a remembrance or a release of something. And it feels super hot and deep down in there, like it's been there for a long time. But in releasing this, even though it's uncomfortable in the moment, it brings forward a ton of new opportunities for you. Ooh, Christina, thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much. You're going to Greece, girl. Yep. That's it. So when you're in Greece, I want you to, when the emotion comes up, hear me clearly. I want you to acknowledge it and feel it. Feel all of it. Feel all of the hurt. Feel all of the pain, because the only way to get through it is to get through it. It feels like this has been pushed down and suppressed for a long time. And as it comes to the surface, it opens the door to let it out. We're not blaming anyone. We're saying, this is what happened. This is how I felt. What do I do now? That's what we're doing. All right, Christina, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you very, very much. I believe that Greece in September is when this is going to happen, because I saw it very clearly. All right. Yes, kindness is contagious. You are correct. All right, Jeff, you are up next. Jeff is next. Then I think it's Genie or Janine. Then Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. Hello, Jeff. I'm excited too. Feels good to take the mask off, doesn't it, Jeff? Here's the thing. As I come into your energy, I can clearly see that you've transitioned or changed into a different version of yourself relatively recently. They're showing me a mask that was worn for a long time that got taken off, as if I was fulfilling a role that didn't fit me out of obligation or feeling like I had to. There was a realization, it feels like relatively recently, that I don't have to do that anymore, and the mask has come off. That doesn't mean everything got easy. When I look at the face of the person where the mask was, there's all these like spots on it as if the mask had been glued to the face. Like it was really hard there. So now there's healing all in these spaces where that mask had been attached. I also feel like dropping this mask may have changed the way people perceive you or look at you or interact with you. I almost feel like they're giving me the words clearing house, as if dropping this mask cleaned your house of all the hangers on and the people that were just needing you to do things for them and not willing to reciprocate and all this stuff. That feels a bit disruptive. Again, already feels like it's over. They are showing me that there's a lot of healing happening from wearing this mask, from fulfilling a role that wasn't necessarily meant for you, but that you took on because you felt like you had to. I also feel like you've been carrying around this big backpack full of heavy weight. For me, this is baggage, right? All the things from the past that you're dragging along behind you because someone told you had to. I think it's the next step for you is putting that backpack down so that you can move faster into your actual life experience. This backpack feels filled to the brim with just baggage. Guilt. There's a lot of guilt in here. I don't know what you feel guilty about. Probably everything, like the rest of us. I could have done better. I should have done better. I could have made a better choice. I should have made a better choice. Whatever. Coulda, woulda, shoulda are going to kill us, right? There's very much this feeling of wanting you to recognize that being here in the moment is the only time that matters. The past is not real anymore. The present is pretend. The only time you have is right here, right now, and you're dragging baggage from your past into your present, and it's slowing you down. That doesn't mean you have to be friends with someone who did you dirty. It just means you don't need to give them room in your head anymore. They're taking up too much space. You already did the very hard work of dropping the mask. That was the hardest part. The next step for you is letting go of the things from the past that you keep dragging around behind you, the chip on the shoulder, right? And I'm not trying to be mean or call you out. I'm just trying to tell you the chip on the shoulder. You can't be angry at other people because they don't know better, but you also don't have to sit in their space and coddle them as they learn. Mindful boundaries. I'm a big fan of saying things like, I can invite you over to dinner. Some of the sayings I say, right? You can love someone and not invite them to dinner. You can love someone through a screen door. You don't have to slam the door in their face, but you can certainly put a screen there. Your protection and keeping yourself safe is important, especially as you're transitioning outside of the mask you've been wearing. But I'm again telling you, you got to stop bringing your baggage from the past into your present. That chip on your shoulder is coloring the world you look at. When you drop the chip, instead of saying this person did this or this person did that, that may be true. And I'm not saying it's not, but I am saying don't give it any more power than it deserves. Where are you giving your power away? Where do you have a power leak in allowing someone else's perception or situation to color how you perceive the world? Okay. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Jeff, welcome to the next phase of your awakening experience. This is the phase where you have dropped your mask and you are moving into the biggest version of yourself. My guides are telling me this is a time for you to be selfish. This is a time for you to decide your house rules. This is what I will tolerate. This is not what I will tolerate. And I will kindly ask you to leave if you don't follow those rules and then stick to it. My guides are saying you have all the support you need to continue to move forward and you are moving towards a place of victory. This card is important. This is coming home. This is belonging. This is celebration. Dropping the mask is what you've done for yourself. Drop the past and leave it there. This brings forward the wheel of change. The wheel of change, the wheel of fortune is spun around in your direction and the winds of change are blowing at your back, helping you walk into a brighter future where you can be the most authentic version of yourself. This is going to take conviction from you because all those people behind you, they're trying to talk you out of it because it makes them uncomfortable that you no longer want to keep them comfortable. Know what I'm saying? So as you embrace this newfound balance, you will continue to heal some of the wounds from the mask that you wore. It's important that you leave your past in the past because you don't want your past to be manifesting in your present moment. And because this card is in your energy, that's more important than ever that you don't do that, right? Jeff, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it, and I hope it was helpful. Lindsay says, these readings are very fire horse coded. I was nervous about this transit, but it feels like we're all getting broken open in the best possible way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Genie, thank you for telling me how to pronounce that. I appreciate that. Jeff, thank you very much. Genie, you are up next. Thank you for telling me how to pronounce it. Please, if I mispronounce your name, you have got to tell me. I have a broken mouth. I'm from the South. I mispronounce everything. So please make sure you correct me if I say your name incorrectly. All right? It's important. After Genie is Alara, Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. Genie, I'm excited. No need to be nervous, friend. I can't see your deep, dark secrets. I'm more of a dove than a raven. All right, here we go. Genie. Ooh, girl, your sacral chakra is active. Solar plexus as well, sacral more. All right. Actually, all three of your lower chakras are pretty active. The sacral is the most active. The root and the solar plexus are offering support, but the sacral is the most active. All three bottom chakras being active tells me that this has a very physical component to your life. There's a lot of change happening in the physical environment. The sacral chakra specifically is related to the name tags we wear and the relationships that form as the result of that. There's a shift happening here. Big shift. Feels like a big shift. Sometimes I see this from people who their kids are moving out, kids are moving in, kids are getting divorced, kids are getting married, you're getting divorced, you're getting married, you're changing jobs. This is a large role shift that's walking right into your space, or that you've walked right into. The imagery that they're giving me is you're standing in front of an open closet with all these like uniforms hanging in it, and the uniform you have on no longer fits you. It's ratty, it's gross, it needs to be washed, all this stuff. And you're looking at these new roles, wondering which one is best for you. The one that feels best, friend. That's the right answer. The question of what do I do now? Whatever you want. How about that? I don't know if you've recently, it almost feels like a freeing up of a lot of time. So I don't know if you've stepped away from a job, if you've retired, if you're taking a new job or something, but there's the opening up of a lot of time and the realization that I can be more than one thing at once. I can wear more than one uniform. I don't have to completely commit myself to one thing. Whatever this is, this role that is ending or changing feels like it's been around for a while, and stepping outside of this role may be a little uncomfortable at first, simply because you're used to what you're used to. I don't have any sense that there's a wrong role that you could choose. You hear me? There's nothing wrong with anything you choose, but the role that you're leaving behind is what's uncomfortable, because you've been fulfilling that same role for so long. It feels weird when you don't do it. For some reason, they're giving me the scarlet letter, the story of the scarlet letter. Hester Prynne wore that scarlet letter on her chest her whole life. And when her child was like 5, she took it off. And the baby, the little kids started screaming and did not recognize her mother without it there. And so she put it back. Don't put it back. Don't put it back. You're leaving this role behind. And if it makes other people uncomfortable, that's unfortunate, but not your problem. You cannot keep everybody comfortable in their own complacency for as long as you have. You have to allow yourself to step outside of that. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I have already said, okay? Genie, my guides want you to understand that this mental clarity that you are receiving is because you're stepping outside of a role that you've been fulfilling for a long time that no longer serves you or fits you well. It can feel scary, but what my guides are telling me is that as you step outside of your comfort zone, friend, you're going to rediscover the art of self-sufficiency, and you're going to rediscover how good it feels to be victorious in your own space. My guides want you to understand there's a lot of changes happening in the material environment around you that is causing this to happen. And it may feel a little bit like dissension as it comes forward, as if it's not easy, right? I didn't expect it to be this hard, or whatever it is. I get it, but you're still making these changes, and that's a good thing. My guides are asking you to continue to go after your inspired pursuits as much as possible, because this is what's leading you to the next role for yourself. It's going to require you to confront some ideas that you have about who you are, and that in return is going to require you to do a lot of introspection. But as you start to sift and sort, I don't want to do this anymore, I do want to do this, it opens you up and it puts your dreams and desires quite literally in the palm of your hands. But walking away from this old role is not going to be easy. It feels like it has a lot of emotion around it. But it's definitely a good change. There's a lot of possibility in this change, a lot of possibility in the letting go of this role, whatever it is. I know it feels scary and weird, but it always feels scary and weird when you do something different. It's like you've been on a boat your whole life and now you're starting to walk on the land. It feels weird. Doesn't mean it's bad, it just feels weird, right? Genie, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Alara is up next. Genie, thank you again. Alara is next. And then Sarah, Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. That is the list. Laura, I see that your kiddo is sick. I totally get it. If you need to go, I can refund you. Or if you're able to stay, I'll do that. So it's completely up to you, friend. Hello, Alara. I think you have such a pretty name. It reminds me of the movie Willow. Although I'm not 100% sure her name was Alara, but it was something like that. Alara Dannon. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. They actually made a Willow series. Squirrel! They made a Willow series for one season on Disney, and it was fantastic, and then they canceled it. I was so sad. All right, friend. Here we go. So, Alara, as I tap into your energy, the very first thing I see is the woods at night. I love this. Friend, you have some mystical powers inside of you. I am looking at someone who's under a full moon in a lotus position in a wooded area. Okay. This is not scary in any way. It's beautiful. The woman is sitting in lotus position underneath a full moon, drawing power from this moon. When I see imagery like this, it's almost always connected to some sort of witchcraft. That doesn't mean the bad stuff about witches, but it's something about plant medicine or casting spells or charms. Something in there is starting to become active, feels related to nature, something reflected in the nature around you. Maybe it's plant medicine, maybe I don't know what it is. It's starting to become active. You, my friend, are drawing a lot of power from the full moons this year. Each full moon that comes forward, I'm going to really encourage you to spend as much time as you can, at least 20 minutes outside or inside, in that lotus position, because you're drawing down a lot of energy from there. The moon is the feminine side, the sun is the masculine side, and that feminine side is refilling your cup. It has a lot of sparkle to it, so that gives me a sensation of magic. I do feel like, should you decide to look into plant medicine, crystals, sound bowls, energy, something earth related, if you start looking into that, it will be more of a remembrance than a learning and a clicking in of something. That piece that you think is missing, this is it. It's the piece of you that's been put to the side because for whatever reason you didn't think you could do it, or you couldn't embrace it, or whatever it is. I almost feel like your upbringing might have something to do with it, as if you had to put this on a shelf. I want to confirm for you that you had a strong connection when you were a child. It's definitely there. It feels like it got turned way down in adulthood and just is now starting to get turned back up. Again, the full moon is sending a lot of energy your way, that feminine refilling your space, refilling that feminine cup. Has a lot of sparkle, feels like magic. I wouldn't be surprised if you resonate with Hecate, Persephone, somebody, one of the archetypes of the feminine goddess, and utilizing some sort of natural magic, right? Natural magic for me is plant medicine, crystals, energy work, something earthbound. It feels like it has a lot of power for you. I don't know that you've fully discovered it. Maybe you've scratched the edges of it, and it may not be one specific thing, but a combination of many things, and that's okay too. But don't be afraid to explore this. If something comes up and you're like, ooh, that's interesting, I want to look it up, don't be afraid to explore that, okay? A moon priestess in one of your past lives, bring that past life into your present, friend. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. Our past lives are on the same thread, right? So you can access information from those other life experiences in your meditative state, right? Because in your meditative state, you're opening up to the higher self. The higher self has all the information. The moon priestess, or the moon priestess that you're talking about, I bet that's what I'm seeing. And I bet they're asking you to embrace that in this life experience, to bring that aspect here. It's like remembering, not learning, okay? This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. This is a year of victory for you. This is a year of refilling the feminine cup on your side. They're asking you to stay convicted about what you're doing, even when the people behind you are charging after you and saying, you're crazy, that's not real, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to allow them to suck the joy out of you, right? My guides are telling me this is the year you walk into a brighter future. Notice the butterflies. That's because there's a lot of transformation happening, and your intuition is what's leading the way. Again, you can access other parts of your past life experiences when you go in meditative states. And I want to really encourage you to bring that into this this experience because it's going to bring you some balance. It may take a little bit of self-evaluation and letting go of those youthful fears, but it does bring up the death card. This friend is the old version of you dying away and the new version coming forward to sort of integrate. This brings you right into a brand new beginning where the world is quite literally at your feet and inner peace is offered to you. But friend, there's action that needs to happen. I feel like you're being asked to usher in this old version of you, this moon priestess. Incorporate this into this life experience. Remember, time is not linear. Everything's happening all at the same time. So when you go into meditation, you can tap into that higher self that's having that life experience as a moon priestess. I really want to encourage you to do that. And I love your name. Alara, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right. Whoo, heat. Holy hail. Don't look at my address. Just kidding. All right. Sarah, literally, people ask me if they can send me stuff. I just give them my address. I know everybody tells me, you shouldn't do that. It's bad. Listen, I'm not going to believe in the worst in people. I'm going to believe in the best in people. And until you give me a reason not to trust you, I'm going to go ahead and trust you. But don't give me a reason not to. All right? Whoo. Yes, get that heat going. Yes, the Brianna Rodriguez workshop is going to be amazing. You guys, she's so knowledgeable on the experience of death. It's such a great experience. You got to come to it. All right. Sarah, you are up next. Sarah is next. And then Jamie, Caitlyn, Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. You guys have any new reality show obsessions? So I do watch reality shows. It's like my biggest vice. 90 Day Fiance is my vice of choice, typically. I was looking for a hair clip. I don't have one. 90 Day Fiance typically is my vice of choice. There aren't any good ones out right now. So I started watching Return to Amish. The reason I like these shows is because they have a lot of drama and it gets all the drama out and I don't need to be involved in any and I can turn it off. Your father-in-law passed during the eclipse today. The eclipse is today. All right, Sarah. I'm excited, friend. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for your Love on the Spectrum, A+. Wonderful show. Not a lot of drama. I like the drama. I mean, that's why I watch them, so I don't have to have drama in my life, right? I'm a no drama llama. I don't know. We choose when we die. So maybe he wanted to go out with a bang, right? My dad chose to die on 9/11, so I wouldn't forget, right? All right. Sarah, here we go. I love it. Sarah, your energy is so yellow. It's gorgeous. So yellow. It's this beautiful, vibrant, buttery yellow. Your solar plexus is super hella active. I love to see this. It's like a sunrise on a cloudy day, just breaking up all the clouds. Friend, you are starting to step right into your own. I feel as though there are some things that you've discovered about yourself in the last few weeks, especially as if you've had a lot of downloads, integration, or something happening. And it's like these little mind bombs going off like, oh. You know, when you learn that karma is not about punishment, it's about balance. Excuse me, that's very freeing. Or when you learn about the twin flame relationship and why it can be so contentious. Oh, that's so exciting. To me, it feels like you've opened a gateway of information that is really starting to flood forward into your knowledge. What you do with this is the next step, right? What are you going to do with all the stuff you're learning? I feel, though, that the door is opened, that your intuition is on point, that you're doing all the right things. There is very much a lot of yellow in your space. Your solar plexus is hella active. The solar plexus is the seat of how I see myself in the world and also the home of creative expression. One feeds the other. The more you allow yourself to creatively express, the more like your genuine self you feel. It is a self-feeding cycle. I do feel as though there are some restrictions around me, like I have a little room to move around, but not a lot of laterality, meaning that there are still some obligations around me that I feel like I have to fulfill. will, but I've made some space to start carving out some time for myself. This is a good thing. I want to acknowledge that this has taken some work on your end because it feels like it wasn't easy to arrange this space for yourself. But in arranging the space for yourself, you've allowed alignment to happen and you're starting to move forward more easily. The yellow in your energy is super bright, which tells me you are full of coming into self, right? You are absolutely embracing everything that's being offered to you. Your crown is wide open. Your third eye is receiving. The traffic jams in the throat. However, it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like you're integrating before you act, right? When you act, you should act from inspiration. I feel like you're integrating what you've been learning or downloading so that you can act from inspiration. That's a good thing to see. All right, Sarah, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. I love the confirmation on that first card. Friend, your dreams and desires are right in the palm of your hand. This is you doing this, no one doing it for you. This comes from having better judgment on where you spend your focus and your time, your most valuable assets. My guides tell me this has put you back into a great state of balance and has opened up and balanced out some ends of karma, meaning you've learned the balance between a few things and now you find yourself in equilibrium. My guides also tell me that the King of Pentacles comes forward to say, hey, I got your back, but you got to get out of your head about this. You can't keep overthinking it just because there's some people around you that don't like it. I don't like spaghetti either. Who cares, right? My guides are saying, don't overwhelm yourself with what anyone else is saying about your journey. You're in a good place. You are doing good things for yourself. If they don't understand or appreciate that, that's fine. I'm not saying to be disrespectful or to ignore them, but I am saying don't allow their inability to perceive what you are going through or dealing with to change the way you deal with it. It's kind of like the idea of something really exciting happening and you run to tell somebody and they give you the, who cares? You have two choices in that moment. You can allow that reaction to reduce your own joy, or you can say, okay, whatever, and go celebrate by yourself. I feel like you kind of struggle with that sometimes. You're still learning that little piece of balance, but it's the last piece of balance, right? So it's triggered that's coming up to the surface. This emotional wisdom that you're learning is teaching you that it's okay to feel vulnerable because that's where you learn. And it's also bringing you into a place of joyous occasion, the feeling of coming home, of belonging, of knowing who I am and being there. So again, lots of yellow radiant energy in your space. This is very much a feeling of that solar plexus coming online, the feeling of coming into my most authentic self. You have a blizzard in Lake Tahoe. My goodness. We have like record warm temperatures in Illinois. It's weird. And it feels wrong on a lot of levels. Sarah, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, my friend. I appreciate you very, very much. All right. Jamie, you are up next. Come on down, Jamie. Sorry, you guys know I got to think about notifications on my phone, right? Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Good morning. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of these notifications right quick because they drive me crazy. They distract me. Sorry, I just have to do it or they distract me and I'll be thinking about it. All right. Apologize. Jamie. It's your touch of the tism. I used that nomenclature the other day. I have a little nephew who's got a touch of the tism just like me. And I made him a rainbow blanket, which is part of a charity that I do for kids with the tism. It's a rainbow blanket. Anyway, I said that and his mom goes, oh my God, I love that. I love that you called it a touch of the tism because that's what it is. Touch of the tism. Connor with a touch of the tism, right? Or Tanner with a touch of the tism. I think is where I got that. Notifications are off. It's the the icons that get me. All right, Jamie. All right. So, Jamie, there's a couple different things that are coming forward at the same time. On one side, I see a big mountain and I see you climbing this mountain, something you're working hard to achieve the goal of. What they're showing me, though, is that once you reach the goal of this, you're going to realize that that's not the end. There's more after that. There feels like some disappointment in that, as if I thought this was all I had to do. I don't want you to get too caught up in the disappointment of whatever it is. Almost like it feels almost mundane, like when they tell you, okay, well, if you want to transfer your license to this state, then you have to bring this document, this document, this document. You get everything together, you go there and you go, I've got this document, and here, I want to do this. And they go, oh, that's great, but you're missing a piece. That's the feeling, right? Like, oh my gosh, I thought I had it all together and then I'm still missing a piece. I want you to understand that this is purposeful. Timing is important with whatever this is. And I'm being shown that the timing is being slowed down on whatever this is that you're trying to reach. Almost like there's a convergence of things coming up and you're too ahead of it. Like they're slowing you down. Not that it's bad. It's just that I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm seeing two things coming together like this. And in order to not crash, one has to slow down so the other one can pass. And it feels like two different sides of something, like two pieces of your life, like your professional and your personal life. They're both moving quickly. One has to slow down so it doesn't crash into the other one. And then they come into the same path is the best way I can explain it. So the disappointments that start to pop up around this, they're going to be small but annoying. So don't let them get the best of you, okay? The other thing I saw when I came into your energy is that you must be very active in night school right now. Night school is a term I use to explain when we are learning, our metaphysical selves are sending us to night school to learn something for what comes next. This, for me, is how I understand claircognizance works. We learn something from our higher self that we don't remember in the daylight hours. Usually this is at night when our physical bodies are asleep. Our energetic bodies don't need rest. So they travel, they learn, they do stuff. But this is how you know things in the moment. Barbara, friend, I got your payment. I'm going to send that right back to you. Unfortunately, my list is closed today. I'm so sorry, but I will get that right back to you in just a moment. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Stop. I'm going to do this right now so I don't forget. So, they're bringing me right back to the mountain again. They keep bringing me back to the mountain as if they really want you to understand that things have to happen in a certain way. And so these little annoyances that come up and slow you down are just trying to get the timing right. Okay. But on the other side, in night school, I feel like you're learning a lot. When people are in night school, I hear typically one of two things. Either they're not sleeping well, they're waking up multiple times in the night and they're not remembering their dreams, or their dreams are scrambled, or you're sleeping super heavy and still not really remembering your dreams. This is purposeful. This is because you don't need to know whatever it is you're learning right now, and it's being reserved for when it's necessary or needed. And I just want you to try not to get too tangled up in what did that dream mean, because I feel like it's just you're gathering information for when you reach that peak on the mountain you've been climbing and you realize there's more yet to go. That knowledge is going to be there. That knowledge is going to be right there for you. That's okay, Barbara. No problem. All right. So again, night school is very active, and the feeling of climbing a mountain, getting to what I think is the peak and realizing it's just a way station, that there's more to go. This brings a feeling of frustration with it. Like, oh my gosh, I thought I had all my stuff and now I don't. But that's purposeful to slow things down a little bit on one side. It's like your personal and professional lives are both moving forward rather quickly, but in order to avoid some sort of collision, things are being, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're being slowed down a little bit for you, just so that you don't get thrown off by this. Hey, Meg, welcome. All right, Jamie, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. The first thing they want you to know is you are on an adventure for sure, but stepping outside of your comfort zone is something that you're going to need to do coming up, especially around the idea of whatever this goal is that you're climbing the mountain of. There's like a ridge there that feels like you're looking at it from below thinking, well, that's where I would need to get. When you get there, you're going to realize there's farther yet to go. Don't let the frustration get the best of you. This may require a bit of you stepping outside of your comfort zone and having a little bit better judgment about the reaction you have to this. Don't let it get the best of you. Again, I feel so pushed to just tell you they're not bad things. Things are not stopping. They're just being slowed down or redirected so that you can match up with the frequency that you're going after. It's almost like you got a little ahead of yourself or started going too fast or something, trying to make something happen rather than allow it to happen. And this is where they're sort of not holding you back, but slowing it down just a little bit. My guides tell me that while this may give you a sense of disharmony when it happens, it's just giving you back your empowerment. The way you react to this is going to be important. Okay. You don't want to have the big reaction. Oh my God, I'm never going to do this. It's like when you tell a kid they can't go play with their friend, they go, fine, I just won't have any friends. I don't want you to do that. It's just a redirection. You are literally walking into a brand new beginning. And even though right now it feels like you might be feeling a little bit vulnerable, they want you to understand it has a lot to do with your creativity. And it's ushering in the next phase of your awakening experience and giving you a sense of progress. Even though things might slow down, King of Pentacles comes out to say, hey, we've got to be mindful about the choices that we're making and the way that we react to things so that we don't get too ahead of ourselves. We have to let go of trying to control how things work and instead allow them to flow forward to us. That's what gives us back the sense of balance. Jamie, there's so much in there about being disappointed that something didn't work out the way you expected it to, but wanting you to also understand that it will work out better than you could expect it to if you allow this to just happen. You don't want to get too controlly over the details. You don't want to get too anxious about it. Just let it unfold the best you can. And you will see that this disappointment is just a redirection. Just a redirection. That's all. Jamie, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope it was helpful. Just a quick thing. It is 10:50 a.m. where I am. Make sure you are live and not in the lag of the live, especially if you have a reading coming up. My list is full for today. I will be back on Thursday, so keep an eye open for that. Caitlyn, you are up next. Come on down and say hello. Yeah, I know, Jamie. I know that you're going, I don't know what that is. You will. You will. You'll have that moment where you start to react and you go, no, wait. This is that moment. This is it. You will absolutely remember that. You will absolutely know it when it happens. All right. Do me a favor, you guys. If you have not already gone out and liked this live, please do that. This camera being the opposite direction is just unhelpful. Hi, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, you are up. Then Stephanie, Laura, and Taran. All right, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, you're about to embark on a pretty big adventure, friend. I am looking at someone packing suitcases. Okay. So again, this is my guides speak to me in metaphors and movie scenes. This is not necessarily a physical representation of something in your physical environment, but a way of conveying information. As I look at you, you are packing suitcases. You're not throwing things into the suitcase. You're not rushing. You are sifting and sorting through the clothes, nicely folding and putting them in the suitcase. Friend, this tells me that you are moving into a pretty big change that you know about. It's not a surprise. I feel like your life is going to look very different a year from now. There are some things that you are making changes to in your life that are opening up paths that were previously closed. I also feel like I need to tell you that I understand there are some of these changes that come forward that are going to feel very uncomfortable. There are a couple things that are going to be firsts. I don't know what they are specifically, but they're like the idea of the first time you travel by yourself can be a little scary. The first time you do something else can be a little scary. There's a lot of firsts that are coming up for you in the next year. And this can create a sense of anxiety or nervousness, but you don't need to be nervous or have anxiety about it, because just because it's unknown doesn't mean it's scary. It's just unknown. I want to remind you and everyone else, all possibility lives in the home of the unknown. If it was known, it wouldn't be possible anymore because you already know about it. I feel like there's a lot of fluctuation in your timeline, as if there's a lot of things kind of trying to arrange themselves in such a way. And I had this same feeling with my son when he was going away to college. I was very concerned about him. He has a touch of autism, and I was afraid that he was going to be in an environment where he didn't feel supported. Much to my delight, that is quite the opposite, right? It feels something like that, like you're embarking on something new. This thing that you're embarking on is going to have a lot of firsts in it, and those can be scary, but we're asking you to not be scared or not let the fear get the best of you, to persevere anyway, continue pushing your way through. I feel like it might have a bumpy start, but it smooths itself out. This feels very physical in nature, as if it's something in your physical environment that you're going to be able to put your hands on, point to, whatever, and say, this is the change. It feels rather significant. It has a lot of ripples around it, meaning it affects multiple areas of your life, not just one. All right. Caitlyn, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. The first thing they want to tell you is, as you embark on this journey, you're going to need to let go of the need to control everything. You have to let go of having to know how things are going to turn out. How am I getting there? How long am I going to be there? How long is it going to... You just got to trust, especially with this, because there's a lot of things that aren't going to necessarily go the way you expected them to at first. And if you get too controlly over it, you're going to derail yourself. You are literally sailing off into brand new horizons, places you have never been before. There's a lot of water in this card telling me there's a lot of emotion tied to this. So they're asking you to make the commitment to yourself to continue to walk down this path of progress, even when the tower falls. This is the discomfort that I was telling you about, following through on things that are new. You have to bring down the tower so that you continue moving forward. You are walking into a brighter future that is full of transition, but you have to let go of your reluctance to leave home, so to speak, right? As you continue to move forward, your inspired actions are what's going to take you where you want to go, and you will have the support that you need in order to get there. The trick is going to be to not fall into a feeling of apathy or there's nothing I can do about it when those disappointments happen. Those disappointments are simply realignments of things in your energy, the lining up of frequencies. So we have to be okay with that. My guides tell me it may trigger some youthful emotions in you as they rise to the surface, that hot anger about things, but it will also teach you to have better judgment about where you put your attention. My guides are telling me that you spend an awful lot of time in your head, and that's not always the most friendly place to be. The wheel of fortune has spun around, and the winds of change are absolutely pushing at your back, pushing you forward into what comes next, but you have to let go of the fear around trying something new, and just allow it to unfold. All right. Caitlyn, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Tisha, thank you so much for purchasing that reading for her. I appreciate it. I hope it was helpful. I'm very excited for your journey. Wherever you're going, it's going to be awesome, but it might have a few bumps to get started. Just something to think about. All right, Stephanie, you are up next. After Stephanie is Laura and then Taran. Stephanie, come on down, friend. You are up next. Hello, Stephanie. Thank you. All right, Stephanie. Your protector is super active. All right, Stephanie. As I come into your energy, the first thing I saw was 2 giant bulldogs with like spiky collars, standing at attention on either side of you as if your protectors are fully engaged. I'm not sure what's happening in your environment to make you feel as though your protectors need to be active, but I'm not going to tell you to not make them active. Obviously, you feel that way for a reason. I do feel like I need to tell you, though, that you are protected, that you don't need to be too concerned about this, that you're too in alignment with yourself most of the time to fall into issues. I also feel like, I also feel like there's some dishonesty around you. And maybe that's why your protectors are up, because you can feel it. You can smell it, that dishonesty. I feel like somebody's lying to you, honestly. I don't feel like it's necessarily a life-altering lie, but it does, and it might be a lie by omission, but it feels like someone's not telling you everything. Someone's not telling you the truth about something. And I feel like you know this, and your protectors have risen up as a result of this. Pay attention to your instincts. They're very good. Your intuition is very locked in. You're usually very aligned with your energy. I don't see a whole lot as far as dysregulation in your chakras. It's more about the protectors being at the surface. They're really bringing that up and wanting me to say, hey, I see that they're active, but don't let that drag you down a paranoid hallway where you think everybody's doing something wrong to you. Again, I encourage you to give everyone I lost my words. I encourage you to give everyone the benefit of the doubt until they give you a reason not to, but to be cautious in doing so. That feeling you have that something isn't right is correct. There's something not right. It feels like a lie or a lie of omission around something that, while it may not be life-changing, is still something. And it feels as if I've given this person or persons a chance, and now it's happening again. It almost feels like a job. Like they keep telling you, I'm going to give you a promotion. You're going to get a raise. And it never happens. Something's going on here. And I feel like your intuition knows that. Okay. This is what my guides have to say. In addition to everything else I've already said, Stephanie, they're asking you to use your better judgment. Can we just say hello on the confirmation? They're asking you to use your better judgment because someone is not giving you the full truth about things. My guides also want you to make some informed decisions when it comes to this, because you're not getting everything as clearly as you think you are from the other people. Just pay attention to your intuition. This is going to require you to step a bit outside of your comfort zone, and it may bring up some conflict with whomever or whatever this is that's not telling you the truth. However, as you continue to follow this feeling that you're receiving, it keeps you tapped into the more metaphysical side of your life and will help to bring down some creative ideas to work around or fix whatever this is that's going on. This is a balancing of your karma, a learning to listen and trust your intuition rather than allowing people to talk you out of it, which, friend, we know that happens, or it used to happen a lot. So we're not doing that anymore. But there's still people who are taking advantage, right? They're asking you to confront this, whatever it is, and to allow yourself to sail away from this towards a brand new horizon. All the water in the photo is telling me that this has a lot of emotion tied to it, and it may feel uncomfortable or rocky as you're going along. My guides want you to know there may be a little bit of self-evaluation that needs to happen. Where did I get too in my head about this and not listen to my intuition? But your intuition, I just keep wanting to tell you, your intuition's right, Steph. It's right. You got to stop ignoring it. Stop pretending like you don't hear it. Stop. When people tell you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't make them prove it to you over and over. You know what I mean? Hello, MJ. Hello, Lakeside Laura. Welcome. Laura Lane, Laurel Ryder. Hello. Thank you. Something happened this morning. Lie of omission. Yep. I don't blame you. All right. Stephanie, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Laura, you're up next. The Laura that paid for her reading, you're next. Say hello. And after Laura, we are going to finish up with Taran. Laura K. Hello. Lakeside Laura, I'm going to assume that's you. All right. Hello, Laura. You have a lot of very energy around you. I love it. I don't know if you've ever considered mediumship or channeling, but it's definitely part of your frequency. You have a lot of powder blue around you. This is the color of the throat. You also have some dark blue around this area. It's like powder blue in the middle with dark blue around the edge, like an iris, right? That powder blue is your throat, trying to bring forward what you're receiving here in that third eye. I don't know if you've considered mediumship or channeling, or if you even have ever thought about it, but it's definitely something that's very active in your frequency. I want to remind you and everyone else that mediumship looks different for every single person. And you have to be very careful that you're not defining your experience by someone else, right? It is helpful to have mentors to help walk you through your connection and make that. But if someone's telling you that you are not a medium or that you're not doing it right, they are not the teacher for you. Trust me. Okay. Connecting to this mediumship, I think you have some preconceived notions of what that looks like, and you're holding it at arm's length. It doesn't look the same for everybody. I'm not a strong medium. I don't spend a lot of time on my mediumship, but when past people or energy appears to me at all, they never look like people to me. They always look like balls of energy. And for a long time, I did not understand what I was looking at, because I assumed that when you're a medium, you talk to people that you can see are people. Not everyone does that. Not everyone's clairaudience is a booming voice from a burning bush. Not everyone's clairsentience is as active as others. We all have access to all of the clairs all of the time. They're just like our regular senses, but these are crafts, right? The more time you spend on one, the easier it becomes to utilize that one. This is just where you are with your mediumship. They're showing me animals too, so I don't know if you have a connection to a dog or something, but there's a feeling of starting with animals, starting to feel how they're feeling. You know what? Honestly, the energy of mediumship class might be a fantastic workshop for you. You're getting a class at the beginning talking about energy. Then you're getting a second half class with a medium who's going to walk you through your connection. She's an animal psychic as well, so she connects to animals. It may be helpful. I'm just putting it out there. But friend, you have this active in your space. It's waiting for you to embrace it. My guides are asking you to put some focus on you, to start focusing on this. And even though you feel vulnerable, it's about learning to tune into how mediumship shows up for you. My guides tell me that you will be victorious in this, but there's a little bit of lack of faith, friend, lack of faith in myself about being able to do this. So they're asking you, no, we're not going to do this. Your chosen family comes forward to support you. This can be in the form of mentors, guides, friends, whomever. Your chosen family comes forward to support you as you create this harmonious union with your higher self and bring this forward. It will be easy to overwhelm yourself with this by trying to chase after too many people, right? Pick one or two and go with those people. Unless they start to not feel right, then pick someone else as far as teachers go. But remember, you're just there for guidance. You're not there to follow their rules specifically. You have a deep connection to your spiritual self, but you have a tower built around it as if you don't believe that you're allowed to access it. I don't know who told you that lie, but you need to get rid of that. That involves healing some wounds from when you were younger and allowing that authenticity to come forward, because self-doubt is what tends to be there the most for you. Just be careful about that. Your self-doubt will hold you back every time. Imposter syndrome is a real phenomenon, and it can be very helpful to speak with other people who are going through similar things so that you can see that there's more than one perspective available. Yes, the things you see in the corner of your vision are real. Absolutely. Nothing. So here's something I want to be very clear about. In spirituality, we're not cherry picking. That's religion's work. Everything is connected or nothing is connected. There is no gray area here. So when people ask me about the Schumann, well, it's storming in Russia. So what? What makes the storm in Russia any less important than the storm in Italy or the storm in the US that caused the resonance in the Schumann? What makes that any less important? Who told you that just because it's there doesn't mean it doesn't matter? Who said that? That's so stupid. Everything is connected or it's not connected. There's no cherry picking. So when I'm talking about this, I want you to realize that people are coming from what they know, and you cannot rely on them alone. You have to learn to listen to your intuition, but having a guide can be helpful. So we're not cherry picking, right? Everything is connected. Everything is connected. Hear me? Everything is connected. The force is real. Everything is connected. You can do whatever you want. You just have to abide by the rules of the environment in which you find yourself. You want to fly? You can fly. You just can't grow wings. You miss the boat? Take a cab. There's another way. All right, Laura, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is all energy. Every ounce of it is energy. Every ounce of it. Did you know when you touch someone, you don't actually ever fully touch them? Did you know that? Because the friction between the skin, the electricity is a cushion, feels like you're touching them, but you're never actually touching them. You get really, really close, micromillimeters close, but you never actually touch them. Something important to know. All right, Taran, last but definitely not least, come on down. You are up, Taran. Right? And Mary Ellen, I bet you can feel that energy, right? So private readings, it depends on which one you want to get. My 30-minute sessions are $55.55. I'm currently not offering any hour sessions because I'm moving, but they're $55.55. Ooh, excuse me. The best thing about my private sessions, I want to say this real quickly. If you come to a private session, it can be very difficult when I open up the session, I say, how can I help you? And you stare at me and say, I don't know, whatever you want to tell me. I'm a frequency coach, so I need to be able to grab your frequency and bring you to my level. If you don't give me anything to work with, it makes it really hard to do that. I can get there, but I take 10 minutes usually of your 30-minute time just trying to establish that connection. The best thing you can do is write a list of questions, bring it with you. And when I say, how can I help you today? You start with your first question. I will almost guarantee you that every one of those questions will be answered and you'll never tell me another one. Also, you get a written description of what we talked about after your session, a reminder so that you don't have to try to remember, you know? Those are my exciting things about my privates. All right, Taran. All right. So Taran, when I come into your energy, the first thing I'm feeling is a challenge is coming forward. So I feel very strongly that active in your energy is a challenge that's making its way into your physical environment. This doesn't feel like an easy thing. It kind of feels like a tower moment of sorts, as if I am recognizing that something I thought was working is not working, and it feels like something close to the heart. I am not a fan of getting information like this. I love to give positive reassurance, and the positivity in this is that whatever this is going to redefine your personal strength. Something is happening in your space that is dissolving connections that didn't need to be there to begin with. And as these connections dissolve, the tower that they built starts to fall. And it feels like something close to my heart gets stepped on, pushed, poked, or hurt. And it feels hard for me to acknowledge and let go of that. However, I will also tell you that in going through this, what's happening is you're redefining your strength. You're redefining your integrity. It's as if for a long time, someone else has been defining what you are, and that's not working anymore for you. And while it may be uncomfortable to confront, address, or work with this, it's become necessary. I feel like things have come to a head with this. I don't know if this is a personal relationship, like a friend or a partner, or a professional aspect. It almost feels more professional than personal. Just saying. Almost feels more professional than personal. Something is coming to a head that hasn't been working. It feels close to my heart and it feels hard to work my way through it. However, this is purposeful in opening doors for you and opening maps for you. I feel like you've been held back for a long time based on this definition that you have been embodying for a long time. And it's the realization that I don't have to do that anymore that cracks things open. Walking outside of that may not be easy, but once you get outside of it, on the other side of the challenge, it's going to feel like there's a world of freedom that you didn't know you were missing. It's kind of like if you have a chronic illness, your normal is different from most people. And when you have a pain-free day, it's like, oh my God, this is what normal feels like. Like you suddenly are astonished that you don't have to be in pain every day. And this feels like something like that the realization and the changes that you make show you that there is a better way, but you've just been doing something for so long that you're kind of stuck in it. And this is moving you into something that feels better. Okay. Taran, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. You, my friend, are walking into a brighter future for yourself, but it requires you to have better judgment about a situation that you are in. My guides tell me that you procrastinate on dealing with this because it's close to your heart and it might hurt in doing it, but it also tells me that the fastest way to the most charismatic version of you is through this challenge. My guides tell me that there's a misalignment that's happening here and that it's requiring you to do a little bit of self-evaluation to figure out where that misalignment is so that you can move in the better direction. Your spiritual side is very connected. It's the material side that needs to align itself a little bit better. And that's why this is happening. Like I said, there's going to be a bit of a feeling of clashed interest and maybe even a feeling of disconnect from whomever or whatever this is. But what this is a tying up of a karmic end that's been waiting to be released for a while. So let go of your disappointment around having to move on beyond this. Make sure you stay out of your head about it and allow yourself to embrace the journey that's being offered to you. The Fool card as your last, that's the cherry on top. Even though the challenge is coming out, it's opening you up to a new adventure. You just have to be patient enough with yourself to allow it to come forward. Taran, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where did I go on vacation? I was in the Dominican. It was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. Crystal blue waters. It was lovely. Taran, thank you so much. You guys, it has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you. Whitney, thank you so much, of course, for all of your help. I appreciate you. My workshops are available. There's a bunch of them coming up. I even have one with Reiki Rachel that I don't have the link for yet. That's going to be happening on March the 20th. This is a spring cleaning of your energy. Reiki Rachel is not doing private sessions right now. She's doing very limited work. So I feel incredibly blessed to have her. So keep an eye open for that. But if you follow me on Eventbrite, you'll get notified when I make new events, or you can just go to my website, consciouslyerin.com. You click on the button that says Tools for Transformation. It'll take you right to a list of everything that you need that has all those workshops. It is a wonderful day. The energy is insane today. It is the first eclipse of eclipse season. It is the start of the fire horse year. And there was another one. Oh, there's a new moon. We are lining up and there's an alignment happening tomorrow. I want to say something is in Aries. Jupiter's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, something's in Aries, and that's fiery. So pay attention. I appreciate you guys so very much. I will be back here on Thursday. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to go back and rewatch the live, give it a like and a cheer. It helps to build me up a bit. And remember, my goal is that once my passive income on YouTube gets to be to a certain level, I'm going to do these readings for free. And the best way you can help me is just watch the videos. That's all you have to do. You don't have to pay me anything. Just watch the videos. Watch the videos. That's all you have to do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.